Hello YouTube artist, I'm Kelly Hernig and welcome to In the Studio. I wanted to talk to you about your past self and are you missing any of that? I want you to think back to yourself 10 years ago and what was your life like? What was your art life? Were you even doing art back then? For me, yes, I was doing art, but it was different art. I was doing more mixed media, I was doing acrylics, I was doing color pencil, and most of it was realistic. So when I went into my watercolor journey, I really was shying away from being realistic because with color pencil and really my acrylics, I was almost to photorealism. And just the thought of doing that particular strict detail in paintings now in watercolors, I don't want to do that. However, I am missing the pieces that I used to love to do. And I'm going to share a couple of those with you. These are all acrylics. The first three are done on vintage papers, so it's got a beautiful background. So this is a little caster that I painted. And yes, I actually have that pink caster. It's fabulous, right? This is a magnifying glass and a real marble. This is an old fork, and the thing is huge. Think of a serving fork. And this is probably my favorite piece I've ever painted, which is just a little row of casters. They're wooden casters. I did it for a class, so I wanted a real low horizon point, but you can see all the detail that I have in there. So out of this too, this is the stuff that I used to collect. And let me just show you a few pieces. So I've got like a hose nozzle here. I've got a piece from a doorknob. I've got tons of jars with things in them. So this is old metal things. Can you see there's screws and there's bolts and there's washers and there's just about anything else that I can find. I have jars of these things. I've got an old tin car. I love those little tin cars. I've got probably 5 or 6 of them, but I don't really paint them anymore. I've also got things like this sitting around, which is just like a magnifying glass that shows things behind it or pieces of pieces of nature brought in, right? But I love looking at them in a magnifying glass, and it's a fun way to study them and get a closer look. The piece that I'm missing now is the little tomboy girl, right? The one that collected these pieces and curated it and found certain things that she really loved. And it always had patina, always patina. Because for me, so I look at these as they already have a story, a past story. So when I'm creating something like this in my art, I'm giving it a new story, right? So I'm connecting now what is important to me to that past, but now making it into a new story. And I really like the idea of that, of the two coming together and creating something new. But what I found lately is I'm doing a lot of figurines which already carry a personality, right? Because it's a character. And I find that I'm having a hard time implementing my voice into that storyline and making it expand a little further. Where something like this, I can put in a photograph and photograph a bunch of different things, but then it's putting my things that I collect in with that story. And I want to start painting these things in watercolor. I'm not sure how that's going to look yet. That's why I'm bringing it to you today, to just let you hear my thoughts on this. It's bringing those softer sides of me, the more vulnerable side, to this more, I don't know what you would call this, but it's a more antique-ish side, a vintage side of me that loves the patina and the grunge and just the dirtiness of it all. But yet, how can I make it fit into the stuff that I like today? So I would, of course, be including nature and leaves and all kinds of things, right? Because that's what I collect. I also love bugs, right? I haven't done any watercolor bugs. Why, you ask? I have no idea, because I have all of this stuff sitting in my studio. I've got jars. In fact, across the wall, I've got like 2 boxes full of just lines of jars of stuff in them. And I love that. But I'm not allowing myself to pursue that into watercolor. And I think the reason why, I have not seen watercolors done with anything like that. Have you? If so, please share some names so that I could go and visit them on YouTube or Instagram somewhere. I would love to see how they're being interpreted, because I know what I kind of want them to look like, but I would also like to see how they're treating it. You know, think of still lifes in watercolor. It's always flowers and fruit and tables of things, right? But nothing is like, I don't know, a mechanic's studio where it's wrenches and dirty and paint cans and just jars of screws, right? So I'm wondering, what can I do to make it feel like me with my softer colors and, I don't know, weird ideas, but bring it all into my sketchbook, because I think this sketchbook is the first place that I want to play, because it is a place that I can kind of discover and try to figure out how to make the patina, right? I don't know how to add the layers like this in watercolor, where creating something like this in acrylics is totally different, right? I could paint it all this light color and then come in and add the darker. So I've got to try to figure out the layering of the patina that I want and the personality of the pieces that I want to bring life to. But I also really want to focus on telling a story with them and adding my present to their past and see what beautiful thing comes out of that. So when I say that I'm missing a part of me, that is what's missing. That little grungy part, that past and present compilation that's coming together with a new story. If that is something that you see missing in your own art, I want you to ask yourself too the questions that I'm asking. Why? Why am I not doing that, right? It was such a strong part of me 10 years ago, but I've kind of let it go to the wayside. And I know I have that inkling that it's those details that I want to add, but in my watercolors, I want to keep them a little more stylized, a little more, let's say, like Illustrator quality. So that's going to be an interesting journey. If you would like to see me work through some of these pieces and maybe hear my thoughts, let me know, because I would like to start exploring that probably in April a little bit and see how far it gets and what I am drawn to now, because my photography is going to be different than it was 10 years ago, because I'm a different person. I'm older. I'm putting things together differently now. I am looking at composition in a little different ways, right? I've always liked tight little photography, you know, so in a section like this, it's maybe got, I don't know, 8 things. So I think I want to expand and give it a little more room to grow and maybe include cool things, maybe like a branch of leaves or something in the background where I've got this big element in the background, but then I've got a bunch of smaller clustered things in the foreground. I think that would be really fun to explore. I want to bring that nature element into this more industrial kind of component and see how they come in together. Will the nature soften it? Will the industrial stand out a little bit more? That's the kind of things I want to explore. It's all these questions that I have of what happened to old Kelly? Where did she go? And how can I bring her back in a new way in 10 years later? That makes sense. But I'm excited for the journey. If you were inspired by today's I'm Missing Old Kelly, please leave me a like or a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please click the button. And as always, thanks so much for watching.